Welcome to Romania, to Bucharest, and to the Olympic Centre in Isfahan, which is some 30 kilometres outside the Romanian capital. Tonight's European Championship of weightlifting is all about the men who weighed in inside 69 kilos. And alongside me to enjoy the action, as ever, Commonwealth Games champion Michaela Breeze. I'm David Goldstrom, and I can tell you that on paper at least, this should be a little cracker. Why? Because only 12 kilos separate all of the entrants tonight. And there you can see the body weights that they weighed in with just a couple of hours ago. Just to make sure that everybody did make the weight. And now an opportunity to meet each of those athletes who are backstage warming up at this moment. So the first man we should meet is David Sanchez. And here he is, representing Spain, originally from Almeria, but these days based at the National Training Center in Madrid. Next, the first of two Albanians, Abrikan Kaya, who didn't manage to get a total in last year's European Championships. His teammate, Alberi Sečić, he was, as you can see, runner-up in the Junior Europeans at 62 kilos. And Mirko Zani from Pordenone, not far away from Venice, represents Italy tonight. Goga Shekadze of Georgia. Well, that International Fair Cup competition is always high class, so that's a good victory. And Dejan Minchev of Bulgaria in what is his farewell competition tonight, so we wish him well. And Robert Joachim, a bronze medal in the Europeans last year. The German team are hopeful that they can perhaps go one shinier medal more. And Paul Dumitrașcu of Romania for the host country leading the medal table at the moment, and Petr Petrov from near Ostrava, over on the eastern side of the Czech Republic originally, but these days lives in Prague. So those are your contenders, and I can tell you that the top entry total entered today was from Abrikan Kaya, experienced Albanian, 320, but the lowest entry total, 308, from the experienced Dejan Minchev. This is what happened earlier in the day. Michaela, the B group.
Yes, and we can see the Romanian here. Well, very nice technique, standing with ease. And young man, 130 on the bar, misses his final attempt at one. A couple of kilos more, but the 130 was enough to take him into the lead. At the moment, we see Damian Wisniewski.
Yeah.
Well, he's going for the lead on the clean and jerk. This is 161 kilos on his second attempt. Not enough for the lead overall. He's in second place behind Constantin of Romania, who's leading after the snatch.
Constantin Karp, Romania, who is the leader in the clubhouse with a total of 290 kilos. And there are some of the past winners. The most recent winner there, Bernardine Matam. I was just saying, Michaela, disappointing that we've got no Frenchman in the competition because it would have been nice to have their involvement here.
Yeah, it would, but, you know, some of these athletes need rest, they need recovery, and sometimes opting out of a European so they can focus maybe on a World Championships at the end of the year is deemed more important. See,
Venceslas Dabaya, he won this title for France in 2007. Matam, when he won it last year, 320 kilos was his total, just to bear that in mind. And here the opening weights, and you can see for yourself there's not much between any of them.
No, it's going to be a very, very tight group. Where would you place your bets? Well, there's one or two lifters you wouldn't rule out, but you know what, that is going to be very closely fought.
So these are the records, senior, under 23 and junior and youth. You'll see when the page flips over. But I'm not sure we'll be challenging any of those today. So this is the scene backstage in the warm-up room. Bogdan Mokranowski, the Polish gentleman who is our public address host here, commands great respect. His knowledge of weightlifting is tip-top. And he introduces the first man out, and it's Dejan Minchev for Bulgaria. Dejan, 34 years of age, one of only 2 men in tonight's competition who's in his 30s. And just outside the top 10 last year in the European Championships. Never really achieved a major medal, but let's see how he can do in his farewell. What I hope, Michaela, is that he could manage 6 out of 6, because that would be a nice way to go out.
It absolutely would. It's always an emotional occasion when you've given so many years to the sport. So, well, it's a good start. Has to work hard in the receiving position. A bit soft, but the fight was worth it. He's in the competition, and a deep breath there.
So, a nice way to get underway. The man who's posted the heaviest entry weight is the experienced Albanian Brikin Kaya, 141 kilos. And the Romanian Kwa sitting behind Mikhailo and myself have opened up here for Paul Dumitrescu of Romania. 6th in the Junior Worlds last season, total up 298, and was definitely snatching this sort of weight. I'm looking at his personal best. I've got it at 127, so straight away this will be a kilo to the good.
Well, still in the junior ranks, David. You would expect the youngsters to be improving at a rate of knots. And great to see him execute a personal best on a big stage.
18 years of age. So, as you rightly said, a good way to get going.
We would expect improvements year after year with youngsters like these.
So just a reminder that Konstantin Karp of Romania, who competed in the B group, he's got 130 kilos, so all of these lads have got to surpass that before they get into higher ranking positions. And the rule is, whoever gets there first is the leader at that time, and that applies to B group lifters as well.
Yeah, we had the 130, remember, from Konstantin Karp of Romania. That was from the B group, so 130 to beat. The bar now is at 130, so David Sanchez to come out, even if successful, this will only be good enough for 2nd place, because the B group have gone first.
But in fact, it's Goga Shekidze of Georgia, in fact, coming out on 130 kilos. Winner of the International Fire Cup this year, and collected 130 kilos on the way to taking that prestigious title. Got a personal best of 134. So, given that he's prepared without problems, I'm looking for this to be without fuss. And it is.
Well, no problems there. Explosive on the way up, fast on the way down.
And the 130 that he gets actually now takes him up into 2nd place, because actually he got there 2nd of all. So Konstantin Karp from the B group, I think they posted him in 2nd place, but that's actually not correct, because it's whoever gets there first, whether you come from the B group or the A.
Yeah, they posted the B group lifter in 1st place still at the moment. The lifter that's just been is in 2nd place, so that is correct on the board. Is your board, your computer's different to the scoreboard we've got
yeah,
in here?
it is, yeah. I just need to make a careful note of that.
Well, I would say go for the one in the stadium,
exactly.
but it's so slow, it seems to be way behind time.
Yeah, Minchev now, 131 kilos, 3 kilos up, 2nd attempt. Had to work a little bit for the first one, but maybe a little more relaxed now.
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, he's okay. That was rotation in the shoulder, not movement of the elbows. He's okay. Soft elbow lock, but there's no extra movement.
Nice to see that again, front-wise, maybe to just study it more closely. And here we go.
Yeah, the arm stays still. That's rotation at the shoulder, which is allowed. It's not great. That's going to put your shoulder under some serious strain. So don't copy this at home. But he instinctively corrected the problem, regained his balance.
Yeah, the height of his... I mean, if you go back 6 years, he was snatching 140 kilos, but he's in the twilight zone today. And Dumitrescu, another burst of enthusiasm for behind us. And already he's set a personal best. This is 3 kilos further to the good. Minchev leading. Oh, that's very nicely done, better than the first one.
Well, he's fighting to hold on to it at the bottom. You can just see how hard he's working. The whole body is shaking. That's a sign of a lifter under some strain. Came out with confidence and he executed well. Really good effort.
But he is progressive and he is in new territory, so he's entitled to be in this situation.
He's entitled to shake a little under the bar.
Exactly.
You want to try putting these weights overhead and see how much you shake?
No, thank you. That's your game.
Oh, no, I'm done. I'm done with this game.
Well, I know you would have liked to have been in the 58-kilo competition this afternoon, wouldn't you, if you'd been just a few years younger?
Oh, thanks, dear. No, I was saying to you earlier, the 120 I did back in 2004, which would have, well, been competitive here. Place 4th.
So, last year's European bronze medalist collected 141 kilos on the way to the bronze medal. Lives in Berlin, supported by the German army. Doesn't have to do too much work in that regard. But like an awful lot of sports, supported by the military, the police, sometimes the prison service. But in his case, it's the army. And the man in the corner with the big ginger beard is his coach, David Kurch. Well, I think that's just to get him on his way. I'll be very interested to see what he does with the second attempt in terms of additional kilos.
Well, that seemed to be a real effort, first attempt. Gave that absolutely everything. Be good to see from the side, really. Just whips the shoulders back, but the Germans always so good technically. Speed under the bar. Notice they're dropping and catching, not placing it overhead.
Petr Petrov for the Czech Republic. And there's already a nice rhythm to this competition.
Yeah, one off. Next one on. Well, I'd like to see that from the side. A few technical bits, not quite right, but it works for him. That's his style. He's nailed his opening lift. We've got, well, I'm not going to say, I am going to say it. Good lift after good lift. Difficult to get the technical feedback to you when we get the head-on shot. Ideally from the side would be that bit better.
And as a coach, Georgia Sanidze, Olympic champion, a few years ago.
So, Gogo Chekadze of Georgia, second attempt, 134.
So I've got this right on his personal best, 4-kilo increase. And into the lead by a kilo.
He means business. One attempt remaining. As we said at the start of this competition, it is so close between starting weights, and every lift is going to count, and so far these boys have made every lift count.
Yeah, 8 out of 8 good lifts. Hopefully that isn't the commentator's curse, because Dejan Minchev is now coming on for his third and final attempt.
Well, he has looked wobbly, hasn't he, up to now?
Well, he's taking another 3 kilos to take him to 134 kilos. Haven't seen this in recent times from him. I mean, seriously, you're going to go about 5-6 years to see him snatch this sort of total. He's usually around the 130s. 133, the most recent lift close to this particular number.
No, you were spot on with that call, David. Nowhere near today. And that ends our good run.
But the third attempt, the pressure will really come on anyway for all of these men.
Good extension, maybe just not quick enough underneath, and I think his shoulder mobility is a limiting factor.
So, Dumitrascu, so far so good. Another 3 kilo increase, 134, another new mark. But as you highlighted, only 18, entitled to progress quickly. Lying in 5th place. This will take him up to 2nd.
Well, that was a big strain off the floor, and as soon as he came off the floor, the shoulders were coming back. If we see from the side, we'll see him leaning on it all the way through the lift.
Friends and family in the hall.
Go watch the shoulder positions. It starts quite upright anyway, and just here leans a bit early, whips the shoulders back, and leaves the bar out in front. You ideally want to be coming off the floor, leading with the chest. The hips come through simultaneously. Should be a full extension. You don't need to arch backwards.
Bar at 135 kilos. So this should bring in one of the Albanians, the younger one, least experienced, Abedi Sercis. And here he is.
Silver medals in European Junior Championships.
So his opening count, 135. Junior European champion at 62 kilos last season, so moving up to 69 for 2018. He did 131 kilos as a 62 kilo lifter last season. So, good start by the 20-year-old.
Yeah, pretty impressive opening attempt. Let's take a look. Receiving position, very solid. The coach is happy.
So, Robert Joachim, 3 kilo increase here. I was wondering whether it might be more, but then you were a little cautious about what you saw first time around.
Yeah, it just looked heavy as it came off the floor, and that's a crazy thing to say. We are
because it's obviously heavy, isn't it?
But to me, was just he looked hard.
Well,
that's better. Works hard to stand, only just getting himself underneath.
yeah, but it was a bit more dynamic.
It was, and it's always nice to get that first lift in. It means you can open up a bit more. But when you watch the replay, the bar hardly travels above waist height. There, now he's dropping. And that bar is just overhead. This is what I refer to when I say don't lift the bar high. Keep it nice and low. You won't get the bar when on a heavy weight much higher than waist height, and he illustrated that perfectly for us.
I'm just slightly concerned, though, because you know, he's clean and jerks in the 160s, but so's everybody else is really, the main contenders. So therefore, you know, being or finding yourself 4 or 5 kilos behind here in the first phase could cost you. So now, David Sanchez. This is interesting. A little bit of game playing. Warm-up's obviously gone well because 130 was his proposed opener. 137 is what he's actually starting with. And that is a good start for the Spaniard. Nice lift, 137, straight into first place.
Yeah, pretty sharp there, no problems.
And he's been accumulating some honours. He was a bronze medalist in the European Championships overall in 2016 when he totaled up 318 kilos. That would make him pretty competitive today. And now our man from the Czech Republic with his second attempt at 137, which would take him up from 5th into 2nd place behind Sanchez. Well, side on will tell us really a little bit more about that. Not much fire in the belly there.
No, take a look here. Starts quite a long way over. If anything, as he comes off the floor, lifts his backside, and that tips him even further forwards.
Goga, Shakadze, Georgians tuning up for next year when they'll be hosting these European Championships. So he's got 130, he's got 134, and now Goga's going for 137, which by my reckoning is a 3-kilo personal best. He's looked good though on the first two.
Well, his proficiency in movement is very good.
Well, I tell you what, he's got Georgi Azadidze in his corner, one of the great snatch exponents of all time in weightlifting.
Well, they've certainly got the inspiration and motivation within the team. They were all at lunch together today, and it's great when the team do get together and support one another.
Yeah, very good point. Good spirit. Petr Petrov now to try and make amends.
He needs to keep his chest high as he comes off the floor with the bar.
And he's just well, I thought he was stationary, and he's got the 3 white lights, and he's obviously got the down signal. But he's got the lift, and the jury seem happy with it as well, and that's moved him up to 3rd place overall. But he has finished his lifting.
Yeah, don't try this at home. You don't want to be staggering around. If that's you in the gym, you should have dropped it before. You only fight it on this kind of platform, never in training. It's not worth risking the shoulders and the elbows.
So Germany on the stage, still 2 lifters to start their campaign. Brikan Kaya of Albania, Mirko Zani of Italy, waiting in the wings, warming up. They'll be almost done with their warm-ups now, but this is Robert Joachim going for just a 2-kilo increase, 138, which would leave him 3 kilos behind his personal best and 3 kilos behind what he achieved in the World Championships last December and the Europeans last spring.
Well, it's the best of the 3, gutsy effort. As I said on the previous lift, he's only just getting underneath. Managed to find another 1-2% there to get a bit more height on the bar. Really well deserved.
Here we go.
Stands straight out. If he'd have sat there, he would have dropped it. It was on his toes. The step forward, he manages to correct.
I talked to his coach, David, there in picture. He said that he did have a problem some 10 weeks ago. He had the sort of flu and a really bad throat, but he said he's fully recovered. So onwards and upwards. And now David Sanchez lying in 2nd place, taking a 2-kilo increase to go that 1 kilo ahead of Robert Joachim of Germany. Still 2 men to start. Lovely.
Whoa. Well, he whips the shoulders a long way back, as do a lot of the Spanish lifters. It's risky. He only just got underneath. If you see, I mean, he's just shaking his arm out there, but if you see here, the shoulders go a long way back there. Now, that's okay if you can land it, but the chances of landing it are less than if the bar moves up in a straighter line. You can see he's shaking the elbow out.
So there's the state of play. You can see David Sanchez to the top of the table. Snatch of Albania's got 2 to go. And momentarily on the stage, one of the 2 men who's yet to start. And it's going to be Mirko Zani. Here he is for Italy. Top 10 in the World Championships. 8th to be precise, 144 kilos he lifted in December, the junior European champion of last season.
Well, he's strong, not the most explosive lifter that we've seen. Clearly very, very strong, shaking the hand out. Probably got sore hands from training.
Comes from a lovely little town right over the eastern side of Italy.
Good extension, good speed underneath, maybe a little bit of an arm pull, which is why his feet didn't move and he didn't land in a solid position. Yeah, you can see the elbows bending before it got to the knees. Very, very strong young man.
Yeah, Pordenone, I've been there many a time during the ski season. And it's one of those places when you stand in the start gate. It's a famous place that used to be used for women's downhill racing. When you stand in the start gate, you can actually smell Venice. In a good way. Bricancaya, the last man to come onto the stage at 141 kilos, which is according to plan. So, Brican. No total last year, had to go at 145 kilos 3 times in the Europeans, didn't get any of them. Representing Albania, 4th in the world last December, but go back in time, I'm afraid to say, disqualified after the Mediterranean Games in 2013, so had to serve his time. So the younger of the 2 Albanians now to come out. 8 years between them. This man's just 20. Only had 1 attempt, and this is 6 kilos, so decent increase here. Lying in 7th place, but 141 kilos would put him up just behind his teammate. They'd be on the same kilos, but he'd go into 2nd place. Zani of Italy would drop to 3rd.
Oh, goodness me, the bar came down faster than it went up. And he's shaking that elbow out. That was risky. Never stabilised even for a split second overhead. Let's take a look, see what happened. Don't have time for the replay. Yes, we are. Oh, goodness me, the arm closest to us. Oh, both elbows, I think. Under some serious pressure there.
This is Zani, there you can see.
Well, we've got the wrong lifter or the wrong name on the board.
Yeah.
It's not Zani.
No, it's Sanchez, yeah.
Now we have the change. 141, David Sanchez.
Let's reset, let's go again.
So a 2 kilo increase for the Spaniard. 141 kilos. Now again, this wouldn't put him in the lead, but it would move him up from 3rd into 2nd place ahead of Zani. 3rd attempt.
Oh, it's another lifter we've seen slip on the platform. He does well to steady himself.
That's a really good save.
Really good. I mean, goodness me, how many lifters have to slip before something is done? This is really worrying to watch. We can see here, the worse the face you pull, the easier it makes the lift. That was my excuse as a lifter. Great lifting from David Sanchez of Spain.
Well, you see, they keep indicating about mopping the floor, but I don't think it is mopping the floor.
No, that platform
that
is
just
slipping.
needs to be roughed up.
See, all they're doing now is spreading it around. They're not really taking it off. I mean, he's just, look at that. Man, these boys need a lesson on how to mop.
But the other thing is, that, as you rightly said, a bit of sandpaper over that area would do the world of good.
Seriously, I think I'm going to go down to the hardware store this evening and sort it out
secretly,
myself. Should we do it?
Creep in and creep in under morning darkness.
I'll go and get it, and you can go on the platform and sort it out. So technically, you can take the blame.
No, I'll be your lookout.
Well, come on, safety first. Anyway.
No, as I've said this afternoon, said it yesterday, you can't do any harm to the platform by roughing it up.
Nope, not at all. Makes it better. Right, I'm a bit worried about watching this lift.
Unless it's been pawned and it has to go back.
David, concentrate now. His elbows weren't good on the last lift.
Okay. 142, third and final attempt. Makes it, goes into the lead. And a long way away.
Yeah, that the previous attempt will have shaken him massively. You do not want to be catching a snatch and feeling both elbows buckle. He didn't commit to this. Simple as that. Always forwards. Yes, he went under, but it was... Man, his elbows are going to blow in the next couple of years, I'm fairly sure.
So that's the state of play. Italy with 2 lifts to come in the shape and form of Mirko Zani. Just coming onto the stage now. Bricancala with 2 to go. So it's effectively down to these two, Albania versus Italy, or the other way round. Italy now to go first, 143 kilos for Mirko. Got a personal best of 144, so this is only his second attempt. This will put pressure on the Albanian if he can manage this.
Much better lift, great effort from the Italian. Mirko Zani catapults himself back up into the lead.
It's been noticeable, even though we're on day 3 here, how well the Italians have been prepared for these championships.
Yeah, they've had some great results, and that lift was better than the first. Really exploded, didn't pull with the arms like he did on his earlier lift. Lands it much better.
So the pressure now goes on to the Albanian, who is that much more experienced. He's 28, Zani only 20.
Well, apart from the doping violation that you alluded to earlier, Kalya on platform now. There's only one other thing he's renowned for, and that is failing to make a total. He has hit his first attempt, but as you said, bombs in the Europeans last year, and the Europeans before that, and the Europeans in 2013 and 2009. That's a record you don't want to be proud of.
On the other side of the coin, this is a weight he's achieved. And does so again. So we're in for a real good finale to the snatch phase.
It's nice to see him hitting successful lifts.
So now we're down to the head-to-head duel. And this is where the coaches have got to decide what they want to do. Who wants to go for the gold medal? Who is just satisfied to stay in touch? And who's going to come out first? So Zani, who got to 143 first, he has the edge. He's actually in the lead. And so Kalya of Albania pushing the bar to 145. Let's see what happens.
Well, he is following himself, but Zani was called in between. Therefore, it's gone back to Kalya. He's only got 1 minute on the clock.
Next change, 146, please.
So, yeah, Zani pushes it up to 146. So this is the cat and mouse. Coaches changing the cards backstage there by the second. And Zani, who is in the lead. This might be a very good call. 146, but it would be a personal best by 2 kilos. 144 in the World Championships, 137 last year winning the Junior Europeans, but only 20, and again entitled to progress. 30-second buzzer. So this would really turn the screw on Kalya of Albania if he can make it. Has to believe.
Oh, goodness me. not the time or place to do that.
No, just went completely out of his head. But Mikhail, he's still in the lead
Now in first place.
because he got to 143 first. So he still might get the snatch gold. But the situation here, we can see it from the side.
There's nothing to comment on here. All the problems were in the head. You see how high the bar came? It came up to the ITA written on his leotard. It doesn't need to come that high. He should have been underneath.
Right, so the situation is very clear. If the Albanian on stage now lifts this 146, he gets the gold medal and takes a 3-kilo lead into the second half. If he doesn't do it, then Mirko Zani, by virtue of getting to 143 kilos first, will get the gold medal. So Zani watching backstage. Hopefully we can keep an eye on him and his reaction, depending on what this man does in the next 20-odd seconds. That is the gold medal for Albania, but more importantly, it's a 3-kilo lead going into the second half of the competition. Albania, Italy, Spain, the gold, silver and bronze medals in the snatch, and the spread between the top three, 5 kilos.
Well, that's the best lifting I've seen from Kalja in a long, long time. And here we see executing with precision. He looks better technically. Hence the increase in consistency. 3 out of 3 puts those ghosts to rest.
Well, he's one of 4 athletes who completed 3 out of 3. So backstage into a 10-minute warm-up period now for the Albanian and everybody else. And here you can see, so Kaya there with a 3-kilo advantage over Zani, a 5-kilo advantage over Sanchez, and then you can see the difference of 8 kilos back to Robert of Germany. That's a big gap. And we're going to take a little break, catch our breath and conserve our thoughts for the clean and jerk, which comes when we come back.
Slam Dunk Entertainment. Virgin TV sponsors Eurosport.
So the clean and jerk about to start in this men's 69-kilo championship of Europe. So sit back and enjoy the action with Mikhail Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom. Still a very close affair. Brikan Kaya of Albania leading by only 3 kilos. Admittedly 5 ahead of David Sanchez of Spain, but now clean and jerk, where you can lift the bigger weights. And this is going to be particularly interesting. And first onto the stage, the younger of the 2 Albanians, Alberi Setchis, who had a bit of a nightmare in the snatch phase, failed 141. Failed 142, only brings forward 135 kilos, 7th in position, but more significantly 11 kilos off the lead. 156 kilos, first attempt for the younger of the 2 Albanians.
Well, we've got an issue here, David. He originally posted a 1.6, let me think, I can't see it now, 1.65?
156.
He posted a 1.56, did he?
Yeah.
No. On the start list originally, he posted
156.
He posted a 1.56.
Thank you.
Ignore me. I thought he put his starting weight down because he was struggling with the elbows.
No, I think the more relevant point is that, as I said in the first half, he's been a 62-kilo lifter. This is his first time at 69. So obviously that's a personal best for him on a competition stage. So things won't be easy necessarily first time around because it takes time.
It does. It takes normally 2 or 3 years to move up a category, and he's done it at the right time at the start of an Olympic cycle. But it does take time to establish yourself.
Dian Minchev of Bulgaria. Well, he got 2 out of 3, as I mentioned in the first half. This is his farewell competition. He's been a regular amongst the European challengers. And 160 on the bar for him. This is a weight that, at the height of his powers, he'd easily accomplish. I've seen him actually clean and jerk 180 kilos. And that, okay, that was 4 or 5 years ago, but nonetheless, he's done this weight.
Almost forwards, does he hold it? He's soft in the arms. What do the referees think? Well, they've given it.
Petrov goes up, 161, please.
Well, I'm looking down at the jury table. I don't know if we should say this on air, but all 3 jury members pressed red. And now they're having a discussion about it, and they've kind of overturned their decision that they made. That was soft in the elbows. He's done well to get away with it.
Bulgaria, who have won this title on a few occasions, most recently, but it is going back in time. People like Galibin Boevsky, who've been found out now for their misdemeanors of many years ago. So, next man onto the stage. Next lift, 161 kilos. Snatch, Albania. 5 kilo increase. Has the overall lead. He surpassed everybody in the B group with his first attempt.
Good clean. Well, we saw a power jerk on the previous attempt. Now we see the squat jerk. Can he stand? Oh, goodness me. Something's going to go. Oh, I don't like watching those. It's not so much watching when you see a lifter go down and they're in a good position and they stand up strong, that's fine. But when you start moving around the way he was, that's when something's going to go pop. And these are substantial weights overhead now, 161. You cannot afford to get it wrong in that position.
We have the change.
Yeah, we are in excess by some way of double body weight. And he'll have another go. Snatch of Albania leading with 291, ahead of Dejan Minchev, who's got 291, and Konstantin Karp, the best man from the B group in Romania, or from Romania, I should say, sitting on 290s, currently in the overall bronze position, and the overall bronze in the clean and jerk. The clean and jerk gold, actually, Damian Wrzesniewski of Poland is in the lead with that with 161.
Well, there's a lot of changes going on in the back room. Cat and mouse game going on. The coaches are coming into their own, keeping an eye on what each other's doing, making the relevant changes. And at the moment, we've got no idea who's coming out.
Well, there's so many men who entered around 160, 163.
Petrov, Czech Republic, is next lifter.
Yeah, you know, we had Zani at 165, Shakidze of Georgia at 165, 163 for Robert Joachim, and 165 for Dubachescu. And Petr Petrov at, well, he posted 160, that was his announced first lift. He's put that up to 163, now he's got 165.
I think I'm just going to watch, see what happens. It's pointless trying to call. We've had about 7 or 8 changes in the last minute.
But it is that close. So Minchev comes out to take his second attempt. 3 kilo increase to take him to 294 and to put him also into the gold medal position in the clean and jerk. Obviously unlikely to hold on to those positions, but for the moment he's got that chance to lead.
Well, glance at the clock. He's all right, he's got 8 seconds. Forwards again, it's on bent arms. Do they stay bent? Well, he's made the referee's decision easy. Pushing himself backwards from the bar. It was always out in front. We'll see the replay. The clean, well, no issues there. Great leg strength. but we need a head-on shot to see the arms. You can see that position, his hips are behind the bar, bar's in front. Well, one or two words. Oh, here we go. Retired from the clean and jerk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's due to the elbow issues, and I think that's sensible. You know, we saw him attempt a squat jerk here. It wasn't this lift that cost him or that caused the injury. It was the snatch that we saw where he tweaked the elbow, and I think he's decided that that was a lot of strain on the body right there, and his elbows have had enough for today.
And he's only 20, so probably a prudent decision. So Mirko Zani coming in at 165. Now that is as planned. Of course, from the start of the second half, he finds himself in second place. He's 3 kilos down on the other Albanian. So 165, and Kanya 174 he posted to come in, so he'll be last. Straightforward clean. And finishes it off without too much fuss, and that's 3 straightforward white lights. Secures his total, goes to 308 into the overall lead and the clean and jerk gold medal position to boot.
Well, 6 lifters yet to start their campaign, and we can see here the ease at which he moves, very explosive and so solid in the receiving position.
Goga Shakadze for Georgia. Goga lying in 5th place, 137 kilos. So that was some 6 kilos short of Zani, who's the current leader. Same weight though, 165 kilos. So just to keep tabs on the Italian, this is.
Well, no hesitation between the clean and the jerk. You're allowed to do that as long as the bar stops momentarily on the shoulders. You're fine.
And 6 kilos the difference, goes into overall second.
Second time, final change.
Oh, straight out the clean, straight into the jerk. He uses the momentum from the bar, the natural momentum, which is allowed.
Now, Petr Petrov, I can only presume that things have gone well, because this is a 5 kilo advance on what he originally posted. But of course, 137, it left him quite a way back at the halfway stage. But 165 needs this. Yeah. Clearly, this is more his suit, and with that goes up into 3rd place. He actually matches Shakadze in terms of total kilos, 302, but he got there after Shakadze, so that's why he's 3rd and not 2nd.
Just pushes himself underneath, does well to hold it. If you push with the arms too early, you risk pressing out. We'll see how he goes on his next 2.
18 years competing in international competition.
Dear Minchev. So here we go, Mikhaila. A long career, great servant to Bulgarian lifting, and this the final lift for him.
Yes, retirement, farewell. Let's wish him every success.
Let's hope this is a good one to finish on. 165. He's pushed the kilos up. He failed at 163, so. That's the best clean.
What a shame.
Pity, real pity. And I'm not sure that everybody in the audience realises the significance of that lift in terms of his career.
David Sanchez, spine, first attempt.
Clean was really good. I thought he was going to make it.
In this position, you cannot push yourself underneath it. You've got to drive more with the legs. All the arms should be doing is catching.
Second attempt.
So now, the man who got the bronze medal last year and into the arena comes Robert Joachim, 138 kilos.
Well, it's Mirko Zani that's on the clock and counting. There's been a change now. It's Robert.
Goes up 167, please.
Robert,
British Joachim,
167
Germany,
kilos.
Lifter do polo is Paul Dymtraszko, Romania.
So he was 5 kilos behind Zani at the halfway stage, who is the current leader. This would nibble away the advantage that Zani had by a couple of kilos.
Well, the Germans always so good overhead. Well, like the snatches that we saw, the first attempt does look heavy. But he somehow managed to pull out 3 from 3 in the first part of the competition. Let's see if he can do the same now.
Yeah, up into second place. He is 3 kilos now behind Zani. 2 attempts to go. Shikadze of Georgia down to 3rd overall. And Dumitrascu, this 18-year-old who, well, we don't know where he's going to end up at the moment because he's that young, that inexperienced. But what we do know is what he's done so far promises much. Second in the European Youth Championships last year when he clean and jerked 169 kilos. So he's within that range now. And at the Junior Worlds last year when he finished 6th, he managed 171 kilos. So for a first attempt, this should be manageable.
Well, it's there, no problems overhead. Good concentration all the way through. In front of his home fans. It's a challenging platform to execute on, but he's done very, very well here. See the replay, good speed under the bar, tremendous leg strength. Nice drive to arm's length. Drives his head through to compensate for the hips going backwards.
5th place. David Sanchez now. And to open his account with 168, another man who had 3 out of 3. Bronze medal already secured from the snatch phase, brings forward 141 kilos. So, only a couple of kilos behind the Italian.
Oh, no left. I don't think so.
You're not going to give that, are you, on the right arm?
Say on both arms.
No lift.
Well, I was specifically looking at the right arm, but I think you're absolutely right. We'll see this head on. Indeed, we do.
Rips it off the floor, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We had the change.
Yeah, it was a good decision.
Up. 168. David Sanchez, Spain, 2nd attempt. The next lifter.
By and large, the referees have done a good job here, likewise the jury. There's just only been 1 or 2 occasions where we might have just
debatable decisions. Yeah. It was just after we praised what a good job they were doing.
Yeah. But, you know, basically, I mean, the decisions we were questioning were quite marginal.
Yes, they were marginal, yeah.
So Sanchez in really double quick time. I mean, he's got 1.5 minutes left. I mean...
Well, this is a fit lifter, or is he fueled by adrenaline right now? If I were coaching him, I would have held him back. He wants to go, he's keen, he's fired up, but he hasn't recovered. You can't do in that time. He'll do well to get this. Clean is harder. Better to arm's length. Wow, great effort and determination. He's tweaked something though. Bit of cramp in the calf, maybe? You certainly don't need calves. He has just got cramp. You don't need calves to lift, so he hasn't hurt himself through the lifting.
But I really go along with your thoughts, you know. I don't think another minute before he came on the stage, or at least 45 seconds, would have done him any harm. But nonetheless, he's done the job. And he's taken himself into the overall lead by a kilo ahead of Zani. But, of course, he's used 2 lives to get there. And Zani now to riposte. And for his second attempt, a 4 kilo increase. So this would take him to 312. Sanchez, Zani, Robert Joachim of Germany in 3rd place.
Oh, goodness me. Not the tidiest of lifts, technically.
No,
For a young man, he still has a lot to learn in terms of how to move efficiently. See what happens on the replay here.
Yeah.
But he's all over the shot. Very army there. Arms are in already. Soft, when I say soft landing position. And right now his hips are already behind the bar. Drives the back leg a long way backwards. Needs to work on that position.
Petr Petrov just taking the bar back here. 169, a 4 kilo increase. 1 or 2 failures here, or maybe giving him a chance, maybe opening the door for him. 4 kilo increase, he's on 302. This will take him to 306. And,
He's like, oh, goodness me.
He knows how close he was there. That would have taken him into 3rd place overall.
And David, I've got to say this. That was on a second attempt, and it is going to have taken a lot out of him. It buried him on the clean. He did well to stand. But then the jerk, the timing was all over the place. Somehow he managed to get himself underneath it. And then lost it. What a waste. What a shame.
And the body language really is in tune with what you've just said.
Man, you've got to be so annoyed when you get it that far. There's no words to describe what's going through his mind right now. Well, nothing that we can say on TV.
Now, the thing is that Petrov, if anything, is a bit fortunate because Zani wants the same weight. So at least he gets a chance of an extra minute or so. But Zani now, we said this class was going to be close. You've got Dumitrescu, who's still got 2 lives, Sakidze, who's still got 2 lives, Kaya, who hasn't started. If Zani doesn't get this, the doors will start to open for 1 or 2.
Well, if you're not under it, you don't have a chance. And I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and iron out a few creases before we see him again.
Well, 169 would have been a new personal best, but David Sanchez at the moment for Spain from Almeria leads the way with 309. Zani can do no more. His destiny is in the hands of all the other lifters. Robert Joachim of Germany now up into 3rd place. He's only 1 kilo behind Sanchez in the clean and jerk, but he's 4 kilos behind in terms of the overall. Now, Petr Petrov, 169 kilos. Again, this 4 kilo increase. This would take him to 306 and would put him ahead of Robert Joachim of Germany into 3rd place overall. It would also put him into the lead in the clean and jerk if he can do it. But you reckon that it sapped his energy big time.
This is going to be a big ask. Oh, does well to stand. Just looks so heavy on his shoulders. Well, what a real shame. Capable of the weight and a man on his limit today. And a shrug to the camera. What more could he do? He did well to stand, considering how hard it hit him. Was on his toes. But here you can see his body quivering underneath the bar.
So, the man from Berlin, arguably his task has been made a little bit easier by those who just failed, but now he's got to do the job himself. From Berlin.
Well, hang on a second, David.
No,
Robert,
no, it's
on
the bar's changed, hasn't it? And if Kaya's going to come on, that means he's dropped by 4 kilos. because he had posted 174.
Well, that was a last-minute change, and that's a real upset for Robert. He was in the zone, ready to go. Oh, goodness me. Well, did they do that on purpose, maybe? Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Gamesmanship going on in the back room.
170 kilos, so this is a 3-kilo increase. This would take him to 308. He'd still be behind David Sanchez, but he still has one lift. But this would, you know, remember, he was the bronze medalist last year. This would give him a shout of holding on to at least a bronze. Once again, that overhead strength coming into play. That's 3 white lights. That's 170 kilos. And Robert moves up.
Well, a great effort from start to finish. Gave it absolutely everything. Works hard off the floor, hard to stand up, and somehow lands it overhead. Technical proficiency at its best. Making every part of the movement count.
Well, this was a little bit of gamesmanship here, because 174 down to 170, 171. Bricken Kaya went into the break with a 3-kilo advantage over Mirko Zani, who's finished. His advantage over David Sanchez, who leads at the moment, was 5 kilos. This is 171.
Well, fair play. He's got his first lift on the board. He's made a total, and that will be a huge relief for him.
Yeah, it's a significant total now, because 317. He's leading the Spaniard, David Sanchez, by, what is that? That's 18 kilos. But Dumitrescu's been waiting in the wings, and he's now going to take a 4-kilo advantage, which would take him up to 302. But it would take him up to 2nd place in the clean and jerk. And this is really new territory for him.
Great jerk, great recovery. The crowd behind us going absolutely wild.
Well, 171 kilos, that really is excellent. I mean, overall, he only pulls himself up to 7th, but he's now in the silver medal position in the clean and jerk. And he really fought for this with mind and body.
He kept himself moving in the bottom position, kept the momentum, kept the muscles engaged. Sets himself, big drive to arm's length. Gone backwards behind his head. That's because his hips were behind the bar.
On stage already, Shakidze, 172 now. Shakidze, this is a 7-kilo increase. This is to take him up to 309. That would put him into the bronze medal position overall. And obviously 172 would take the lead in the clean and jerk. So the money's really down now. Doesn't mess around at all with the jerk, goes for it. Asadidze in the corner says yes. 3 white lights confirmed. And Georgia are lining up for a medal here.
Well, not even any time for the loaders to adjust the weights as Sanchez comes on. But that was a great lift that we've just seen.
4 kilos on the bar here for David Sanchez, 3rd and final attempt. Now, he can't get to Bricken Kaya, who's got 317. At the moment, he's trying to consolidate 2nd place. If he lifts this, he'll do just that.
No way.
Oh, no.
That was on bent arms, I think. Well, he's got it 2-1, but the jury are stepping in.
The jury have stopped that. So we'll have a look at this front, maybe close up, but it's pretty clear, actually, Michaela.
Yeah, I think so. Not much else to be said. Not from this angle.
No, we need to see that close up from the front, and that'll show it really clearly. So the jury are going to overturn this, and he's not going to get that, and it's going to leave him stuck on... There it is. You can see it there.
Soft arms, clearly a press out. Unlucky.
Yeah, that's a pity, actually. It leaves him in second place. Well, it doesn't. Well, it leaves him in second place, but back down on 309. So he's vulnerable. He's vulnerable, certainly, to Shikidze.
Well, we're seeing Kalia there, who's currently in the lead, getting medical attention, face down on the floor, having some work done on his back. Hopefully he's okay.
Now, Dumitrescu should keep an eye also on Robert Joachim, because at the moment he's lying, Joachim, in 5th place, 308, he's 311. Yeah, he's going to have a go for the silver medal, Joachim, that's for sure. So this is for 6 out of 6 if he can do it, and this would take him clear of Sanchez, and it would knock Shikadze down to 4th overall, and it would also, for good measure, actually lead the clean and jerk. It almost certainly earns him a medal, maybe 2. But big question, big ask. Bronze last year. Can he clean? Yes, he can. Come on. Stand up, bring that leg forward. Yes, that's good. That is good. That's going to take him up into the medals. 3 white lights. Well, very good. Good fight.
Great fight. And you know what's really impressive about Robert is the way he moves. Every lift is the same. There's no wobbling. There's no hesitation. He is on a limit every single time he steps foot onto the platform. But every single time he trusts the technique.
So he leads the clean and jerk. And he's in second place overall. But it's not over yet, because Dumitrescu, he wants a bit more. He's lost the advantage in the clean and jerk. He's down to 4th place, but 3 kilos more, that would take him to 174. He'd lead in the clean and jerk. He wouldn't go into the overall medals, but this is what he's about. Last attempt. This is for his one and only medal, but boy, when you consider just 18 years of age, real youngster for Romania, makes it, he gets a clean and jerk medal, whatever.
Oh, goodness me.
What a fight.
Bodies, that's okay, that's an adjustment, that's fine.
Well, this guy has got some guts. He's got some strength, and wow.
That is one of the best lifts we've seen at these championships so far. His body's so nearly buckled after the clean, somehow managed to steady himself.
There's the fan club, there's mom, dad, the family, everybody.
Well, let's take a look at the replay. How he stood with this. Incredible fight to get up. Watch the body, nearly went there. Oh, got himself underneath. Fantastic effort.
I mean, that is mind and body working together in absolute 100% harmony. And all credit to him, and he deserves a medal. There you can see the total standings at the moment. And
well, I'm just looking at
Shikidze.
You've got the wrong lifter on the platform.
Yeah, you got Kaya. No, they've got to stop. So Kaya just gingerly walking off the stage.
He's hurt his back.
Yeah. Now, Goga Shikidze, who lies in 3rd place in the clean and jerk, but 4th place overall. 2 kilos would take him from 309 to 311. So he wouldn't overtake Robert Joachim, but he could deny David Sanchez the bronze medal, which he's clinging to at the moment. And Kaya going to 175. I'm fascinated by this because, you know, he's got a 6-kilo lead at the moment. How cleverly have they played this? I mean, he didn't need to be,
No,
if he's got a back injury, he didn't need to be going for 175.
Well, he seems to be moving pretty well there.
So the hips were well behind, the back there. And he's out of the clean and jerk medals now. He's still on 317. Nobody's going to get to him in terms of the gold medal. He's won the championship overall.
Well, whether he's pulled something or he's cramping up, his position underneath the bar on the jerk does not help matters.
There's only 2 lifts left, mathematically.
Yeah, but he wants the gold on the clean and jerk. That's why he's coming back out. The clean is good, but watch the position under the bar on the jerk. His hips are all over the place, and it puts a tremendous amount of strain on his lower back.
So George Zanitse has sent Shekidze out onto the stage now at 175. 3-kilo increase. This will take him to 312. So he is going for the silver medal. He's going for the lead in the clean and jerk, and he's trying to get ahead of Robert Joachim of Germany, who lies silver at the moment. If he makes it, he goes silver. Sanchez goes off the podium. So this effectively is the crucial lift.
Ooh. Was that an adjustment, or was he okay? So the elbows move, but the... Oh, gutted.
Not to be, and Sanchez backstage will breathe a sigh of relief, the Spaniard, because he's clung on to the bronze medal. Robert Joachim, who was the silver medalist, bronze medalist last year, is now the silver medalist in 2018. Have a look at this.
Well, all on the arms as he came off the floor, never hit extension. Does well to stand. Not quite to arm's length, was it?
So, as you rightly said, Bricken, he's going to have one shot at this. At the moment, he's not in the clean and jerk medals. He's won the title. If he gets this, he takes the clean and jerk gold. If he doesn't, Dumitrescu of Romania gets it. It's a better clean. It's between him and the Romanian for clean and jerk gold. Is he gonna stand there? Is he gonna get it? And he's got 3 white lights, and the coach is doing exactly what they should not do, which is come onto the stage, because that's against the rules.
Well, he's moving a bit better, isn't he, David?
Yeah, he is. And the result of that is that Paul Dumitrescu of Romania has taken the silver medal in the clean and jerk. The bronze has gone to Robert Joachim, but the Championship of Europe has gone to Albania. Bricken Kalja of Albania takes that with 321. Robert Joachim, silver medalist in 2018, and the overall bronze to David Sanchez. And the likes of Shikadze and Zani, who were to the fore in the first part of the competition in the snatch, drop out. Well, there's some friends of Paul Dumitrescu. Be interesting to see what Bricken has to say.
Well, he is still hobbling a little. I think he's got a bit of pain going down into his leg right now. Hopefully he's okay and won't have caused himself any long-term damage, but clearly in pain. But he is the champion. Now, celebrations all round from the Romanians too.
Yeah, and deserved. I mean, the guy's done a great job. 18 years of age, and comes on here and he's flown the flag for his country. He's flown it for himself. I mean, you represent your country, but actually you're fighting for yourself. So, just waiting for these final standings. Not sure what the delay is. Here we go, clean and jerk results. So there you can see young 18-year-old Paul Dumitrașcu getting a very, very good silver medal for the host nation. Robert Joachim, well, he's got a silver to go with that bronze. And there's the man from the B group, Konstantin Karp. And the overall championship, we'll have that in a moment.
Well, this is the lift that gave him the title. Well, it didn't give him the title, it gave him the gold on the clean and jerk to go with the title that he'd already won.
This was a very pacey competition tonight.
It was quite pretty rapid in terms of changeovers. A lot of lifters keen to get on the platform. Well, Kalya just pushing through the pain, putting that out of his mind. Well, he's certainly going to be feeling it now and this evening. Let's hope he has a speedy recovery from that back injury.
Well, they're giving him the best of attention at the moment, but he's clearly not a happy camper. There it is, the results of the European Championship there. Albania taking it 146, 175, 321. You can see that's 10 kilos clear of Germany. That's Germany's first set of medals for these championships. And David Sanchez there, a bit fortunate, but hey, well done. He's got the bronze.